The Physics of Dumbo by Ian Phelan. Today we're going to look at three scenes. The first one is what I call the balancing scene. In this scene there's kind of an upside down cheerleader pyramid except with elephants. So there are 7 elephants in total, and as you'll see in the scene, 6 are balancing on a single one. So now if we take a look, so there you have the 6 elephants on the single one who is then balancing on a ball. Now they're clearly having trouble balancing, but what we're going to look at with this clip is not whether they can balance, but whether that single elephant can support 6 other ones. So on average, an elephant weighs between 4,000 and 7,000 kilograms, and there are 7 elephants in total. So does this make sense? Well, let's say on average, each elephant weighs 5,500 kilograms. Now weight equals mass times g. So since there are 6 elephants on one, that would be 6 times 5,500 divided by 9.8, and that would equal 3,367 newtons. So can a single elephant support 3,367 newtons? Well, no, it cannot. The average elephant can carry a load of logs weighing 500 kilograms. So that mass force upwards would be 51 newtons, whereas the force of 6 elephants is 3,361 newtons. So no, that is completely impossible. Now the next scene we're going to look at is what I call the telephone line scene, and so we'll go ahead and play it. So in this scene, there's Dumbo. He's flying, and he goes and he lands on this telephone line, and you see it bend and then go back up. So the question is, could an elephant, a small elephant, regardless of whether it can fly or not, would a telephone line be able to support an elephant like that? Now, if you look at the video, I'm gonna estimate that the angle of the line was 30 degrees, and because it's pulling in 2 directions, the tension is divided into 2 parts. So 2t sine 30 equals 2,000 g, and so the tension would be 20,000 newtons. Now, I chose 2,000 because since Dumbo's a baby elephant, so it would be, I estimated it to be about like half that of an adult elephant. That number is it's a little bit arbitrary, but there's no set weight for Dumbo, so I just chose that one. So does this make sense? Well, in order to look at this, you have to look at something we didn't really touch on in class, but it's this idea of tensile strength, which is the amount of force it takes to break a rope, wire, something like that by pulling. So if you look here, this is the free body diagram of what's going on. You have the tension in 2 directions. You have Dumbo here pushing down, and you have the 30 degrees there. So force equals strength times area. Now the strength of copper wire, which is what I assume this telephone line is made out of, that's 250. And so as we learned before, the tension is 20,000 newtons. So 20,000, the force, equals 250 times the area. We're trying to find the area. The question is, how thick would this wire have to be? So that means the area is 80 millimeters squared, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So that means the radius of this wire would have to be 5.04 millimeters. Now, believe it or not, that's not that thick at all. So, and if you look back at this image here, there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. So, surprisingly, that could actually happen. Um, Now, that's not taking into account the how much the telephone poles can support, whether those would just snap, but a 2,000-pound elephant might be able to be supported by 5 telephone wires. Now, the last scene we're going to look at is the flying scene, and in this scene, we're going to see Dumbo take off. Now, this is kind of the the uh, big physics question of Dumbo is can an elephant really fly? There you see his shadow over, and you see his ears being used as wings. So in the flying scene, again, Dumbo weighs 2,000 kilograms. Now, force equals mass times acceleration. So 2,000 times 9.8 equals 20,000 newtons. So um, that's really just impossible. It's in order for for him to fly, his ears would have to be able to push uh, a force upward of 20,000 newtons, which is just completely physically impossible. Plus, if you look at the positioning of his ears on his head, he wouldn't be straight like this. If anything, his body would be drooping down like that, and his head would be pushing up, and his neck would probably break. It would be completely impossible for Dumbo to fly. Um, so those are my 3 scenes. Thank you for watching.